So one of the other technologies that people are starting to talk about, is RPA, robotic process automation. Big thing, right? And it's becoming like a new wave. So a lot of people don't really understand what robotic process automation is or the role of artificial intelligence. So help us understand in layman terms what that means and how it can be used.
Great. So they're really two different things, right? We'll tackle RPA first, then we'll come to AI, which is infinitely more complex. Robotic process automation, RPA, is really a different way of automating manual processes that happen today, right? The implementations I've seen today really don't get into the AI piece of it, but they get into those things that a business spends a lot of time doing that actually a machine can do for them, right? So you might have somebody in your finance organization who's extracting information out of system A, doing some processing of that information in an Excel spreadsheet, and then importing it into system B. You can easily put an RPA on top of that that would mimic what that employee does. The robot will do it more consistently. It will do it faster. It'll do it 24/7 if you wanted to. You can redeploy that individual. It's sort of fixing the problem of how we had to put human resources in where technology wasn't able to automate in the past. I will throw a cautionary note out, though. As RPAs take off, the technologists have to think very carefully about how that technology can help and how that technology can hurt. Read someone. There are some case studies where they put the RPA in, and something tweaked either in System A or System B, or Microsoft released some bug fixes to Excel, causing that to alter. If it alters big and the thing bumps in the night, thank God. If it alters small and it doesn't bump in the night, you run the risk of doing the long thing unmonitored for a long period of time, and that can have a catastrophic effect. So our ability to govern these RPAs as they go into an organization is really, really important. You got to set that governance up front, otherwise you'll lose the case. Now AI, very different. Artificial intelligence. This is changing now. Like we've been talking about IA since Star Trek, right? IA now, and there's been lots of different attempts and waves. I think IA has now transformed into a very different place, a very real place, where we're going to start to see true artificial intelligence helping us with things like RPA. So they will notice the change in the underpinning technology, and they'll be able to self-correct, as an example. If you want to see a cool story, read about the game Go, right? A 19 by 19 square game. It's very complicated. Very recently, I'm afraid I can't remember who wrote the software, but they use artificial intelligence and deep learning to compete with the best Go players in the world, and won. Now, the fascinating thing about this is there are more possible moves in Go, they say, than there are atoms in the universe. So it is virtually impossible for a machine, through brute force, to predict what those moves might be and pick the best one. Like when we automated chess, we could. You can't do it. Deep learning and artificial intelligence is using processes that we haven't used before in technology to eliminate the need to look at every possible outcome and still predict the right moves. Very fascinating. And as that evolves, we'll start to see that play into things like RPAs and other areas of life.